Hello, it's Anand here, and this video is going to take a look at middle managers. We're all familiar with the idea that if we have a bad manager, it can make our working life hell for employees. But do we ever think about how things are for managers? Now, I'm not talking about those managers that particularly make your life difficult, but in terms of the pressures that managers have, do we ever think about it as employees? And this kind of thought process came about for me when I came across an article from the Harvard Business Review, and they look at 4 reasons why managers fail. And there were 2 pieces that particularly interested me. The first was that managers would have a lack of self-awareness. And the second piece that really interested me, or the second reason they fail, is that, that empathy is one way. Now, when I saw that first, I thought, okay, yeah, maybe managers are not more empathetic, but actually what they meant is that their direct reporting into managers are lacking empathy towards their manager. And from a sort of work wellness perspective, I wanted to tease this out a little bit more and offer some suggestions, particularly to middle managers who feel like they're sandwiched in between the expectations that the senior management have on them, because they have to deliver results and meet company objectives, and at the same time ensuring that their team are equipped with the skills and training and knowledge and support needed so that that manager's department or team or unit actually achieve those goals. So managers are really often caught in that halfway place. They're almost like sandwiched in between 2 sets of expectations that often clash with each other. And interestingly, in this article, I'll include a link to it, they said that, I'm just reading some stats here, that 54% of middle managers are suffering from work-induced stress and fatigue. And the other thing that they identified was that managers are accountable for 51% more responsibility. So it's increasing. Their expectations are increasing. And if we think of how the world of work is changing with remote working during COVID, hybrid working, return to the office, the implementation of AI and how that's going to change the world of work, managers are often having to have difficult conversations, whether it's performance, whether it's, downsizing, whether it's, changing people from one job to another. There's a lot of change going on in the workplace. And so there's a lot of pressure. And I wanted to tease out particularly 2 elements of this was the self-awareness. So as a manager, the research in this article said that those who are self-aware had higher success rates. So if you lack self-awareness, you're more likely to fail as a manager. So today, how can you build your own self-awareness? One way is meditation, and in the next video I'm going to share a couple of techniques to help you increase your self-awareness through meditation. But other kind of tools that you can avail of in your little toolbox would be, well, first of all, when I'm thinking about how do I build my self-awareness, it's like I look at myself, my strengths, my weaknesses, what I'm really good at, what energizes me. So as a manager, maybe looking at what energizes you, what work gives you that buzz, and what work really brings you down and de-energizes you. So you may be a really fabulous communicator, but administration might give you nightmares. And interestingly enough, when looking at the lack of self-awareness, was one of the things that they said was not delegating, tasks that even when they didn't have the right skill set to do that task. So when you're looking at your strengths and weaknesses, what can you delegate? And then another piece of self-awareness is asking yourself questions. Why do I not delegate? What's my fear? What do I think will go wrong? And maybe doing a kind of a question answer with yourself, asking yourself these questions, taking time out and going, what's my resistance here? And the beauty about being more self-aware is you become more skillful in yourself, in your life, and how you interact with other people. Because if you're aware of what's going on inside of you internally, for example, maybe an employee is looking for support, and maybe the level of support they are looking from you is intense, to the point that you're feeling really frustrated and burned out and saying to yourself, why can't they just figure it out? I've told them how to do it 3 times. Why do I have to keep going back again and again? And being self-aware is asking yourself, okay, is it them? Is it me? Or is it a bit of both of us? And what can I do to change the dynamic between myself and this person? There's also a technique that Osho talks about called double-pointed awareness. I'm not saying you get that today, but as you build your self-awareness, perhaps this is a skill that you can gain over time. And what double-pointed awareness is as you become more aware of looking in at yourself, okay, I'm feeling this emotion, I'm thinking these thoughts, I'm feeling this sensation in my body. Okay, in response or reacting to this situation, this person, this place, this work dynamic. Okay, and then as you build that skill up, when you're talking with others and interacting, particularly with direct reports or senior management, you might start to see how you are as you're talking to them, and as they're talking to you, you're becoming aware of that dynamic, how they are, how they're appearing to you. Are they tense? Are they, are you reacting to something they're saying? So it's almost like you're looking at them and looking at yourself at the same time. Sounds complex, but it can be done. If you can get to that, you will find yourself in a space where you will respond and not react. You can, if you're feeling overwhelmed with something, or let's say your senior manager is looking for a report or something immediately and you can't deliver it now, and you're becoming aware of your panic, and you might get defensive or you might become too people-pleasing, you can say, oh, let me look into that and I come back to you. Buying yourself time. So these are all like little hacks that you can do. You can do it through journaling. As I said, making a list. What are you good at? What are you not good at? What are your triggers? And doing sort of interaction. Or you can book a coaching session with me where if there's a specific area that you're really struggling with as a manager and you feel like you're caught between 2 sets of expectations, we can work together on that. Not so much the HR piece, but how coaching can help you navigate the emotional aspects or the demands, or having a plan, or a toolbox to navigate future situations. So if you want to book a session, you can book a free discovery call with me in the description box below. And have a look at that article. I thought it was really fascinating. There was some really good kind of HR solutions there from a practical point of view. In the next video, I will share with you some techniques for building your self-awareness. And also I'll add in a technique for where you're not feeling like your team is behind you, where you feel like there's a lack of empathy towards the pressures you're under. I'll also share a meditative technique and talk a little bit more about that in the next video. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.